Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2013 BMW 135i. Up front is a 3.0 liter inline-six turbo, and down below is a 6-speed manual transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this 135i because I really enjoy these cars, and the only 135i that I've reviewed here on the channel was on drag radials. It was up at around 550 horsepower and threw itself into limp mode anytime I really touched the throttle more than I should. And so today I get to drive a little bit more stock, a little bit more friendly, a little bit more I guess less brakey 135i, although not completely flawless. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that N55 Turbo under the hood. Well, it is simultaneously the best and worst part of this car. It's the best part because of this. That's it, all spinning tire. I am getting no type of traction here today. Yeah, this is a lot of engine for not a lot of car. This was the smallest chassis that BMW made for the era. The 1 Series is always going to be the smallest. You can't do a 0.5 Series. However, this engine was built and designed for the SUVs, for heavy chassis, and this just isn't a heavy chassis, and so it's absolutely wonderful. It's this power-munching, straight-six movie villain under the hood. Yes, 135i, that's what I want. So what's the downside? It's too much engine for this car. Not power-wise, not drivability, but for everything else. Everything connected to the engine can't handle the brutal power. And so the owner, Matt, who's very gracious in letting me take this out and film it, he was like, go have fun, rip on it, thrash on it. Please don't break it, because it really enjoys doing that. The clutch isn't happy. The diff doesn't like the engine. It's that one kid in school that can't find anyone to sit with.
I should mention, this engine is modified, and so it keeps having these problems and disagreeing with the rest of the car because it is modified. The stock N55 is actually a great motor, and so it is very good in its stock format, but I forgot to say out loud, I was thinking it, but I forgot to say out loud that this is a modified engine, and so that's why it's not playing super nice with the parts around it.
The N55 is an outcast in this car, but that's the person that I want to hang out. It's the cool kid. Maybe the other parts are threatened by how great the N55 is, but I'm only speculating at this point. Now, like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed manual transmission, and it's absolutely lovely. It has a wonderful click into gear. Very notchy. The clutch is decently forgiving, definitely springier than what you would find in imports or Japanese cars at the time, but it's still that very satisfying click into gear. It's great to drive, and I really enjoy it. Last but not least, of course, the 135i is rear-wheel drive. 2 Series, you could get the X-Drive, but this one is the rear. How does it feel to drive the BMW 135i? It's pretty doggone good. Like I said, this motor is too much for this car, but that is a very fun compliment to give it. I love the wheelbase. I love the size of it. This is very E30-esque. Just in terms of size, weight, feeling, definitely not weight, definitely heavier, but size and feeling like that chassis. I really enjoy it. I like the two-door. I like the little sportiness of it, and that makes these cars pretty much pocket rockets, which is great to see. Visibility fine, ride quality isn't great, but it's sporty, so that's what you would expect. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 4 gauges. Off to the left is my speedometer and fuel, and off to the right is my tachometer and oil temperature. On the steering wheel, on the left, we do have our volume, as well as phone options and voice commands, and off to the right, we have our CD recirculating and our skip track. So we do have air conditioning recirculating here on the steering wheel. Off to the left, we do have a climate control vent and our headlight switches, and moving on to the door, we have the latch to get in and out, a speaker, power mirrors, and power windows. Moving into the center, we have our traction control off button, we have our hazard switch and central locking, along with 2 climate vents and our start-stop button for the vehicle. And down below, we have the BMW professional radio. Very simple here, and I like the fact that this doesn't have a screen. It's a relatively modern car. I guess it is 13 years old, but relatively modern and drives like a modern sports car, and yet it doesn't have this giant iPad hot glued to the center of the vehicle, and I really like that. The climate controls down here, dual zone climate, very simple, using and abusing those heated seats on this chilly, windy day. And then we have our cigarette lighter and ashtray. We have the shifter in the center, very presentable, very dignified. We have 2 tiny cup holders that fail the big friggin' bottle test. And we get our center console. We get the handbrake, and that's it. It's such a simplistic interior, and I love that. It looks good, it operates well, but it doesn't have anything bothering you or begging for your attention while you're just trying to drive the flippin' car, and I like that a lot. The seats have been comfortable. They are a little bit narrow for a bigger fellow like me. If you're not as big as me, and odds are you're not, you're gonna fit in here very comfortably. The side bolsters just kind of dig in a little bit, but again, it's a skill issue on my end. But we do have back seats, so let's hop into the back of a coupe and do a backseat review. All right, getting in the back of the 135i, we do have a handle here, and we can move the seat up with this button. Now, all my equipment is there, so it might not let me do it all the way, but stepping into the back, put the seat back, and honestly, with it moved up, I can fit back here. Now, my head is hitting the ceiling, which I do not prefer, but once we are back here, it's not the worst place in the world to be. Now, I've been better places. I would much rather be other places. I'm 5'11", not a small guy. I'm in the back of a 1 Series, so that's kind of all I can ever ask for from a vehicle like this. It works out well enough. It has back seats if you need them or want them. Wouldn't recommend using them all the time, but you got a niece or nephew in town, they can ride back here in your little pocket rocket ship, and they can go back to 3rd grade and tell all their friends that they were in a very cool car over Thanksgiving break. So that's one of the niceties. Let's hop into the very back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. Right around the back of the 135i, we actually do have a trunk release button here on the key fob. And once we pull that up, there you go. That's the trunk. Not very spacious, not incredibly huge, but it's not a spacious or huge car. And so the trunk space is definitely very adequate for the chassis of vehicle. It's not the greatest thing. Would I want to use this to move into my new house? No. The short answer is no. And so you get a trunk, it works. There it is. Now we got to talk about the looks, and I adore the look of the 135i. I think it's so well done. It's well proportioned. It still has those very iconic BMW lines, but in a smaller package. And it doesn't look like they just shrunk a 3 Series or shrunk a 2 Series. They really put time and effort into it, and I think it just looks fantastic. I think this is a somewhat timeless design, and I honestly believe that the 135i would ascend to E30 levels of legendariness in 20 years. So let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the 135i? Well, although I've had somewhat limited experience, I've only driven 3 of them, I believe reviewed 2 of them. I love these cars. As I've mentioned earlier, I love their size, I love the power, I love the stick shift, I love the engine, I love the power, I love how they handle, I love how they drive, I love everything moving and grooving about these cars. And I really truly believe that this carries the torch that older BMWs started with. It drives a lot like an E36. It drives a lot like an E30. And so it's just simply wonderful to be behind the wheel. It's just not wonderful on the bank account. Although these cars are very affordable now and you get a lot of fun for that affordable price, you're gonna have to put a lot of work into it. There's just parts in here that just don't harmonize. And this has been a story throughout BMW's history. There's BMWs that are good and reliable. There are BMWs that are not good and reliable, but they've always been good to drive. And this is just one of those cars that I am soaking up here today, just absolutely loving. And yet I have to treat it like a boat. The happiest moment of this review was getting the keys, and the other happiest moment is going to be giving the keys back to its rightful owner, because it's just scary to own. But hey, I'm having fun in it today, and I think this is one of the best chassis that BMW's put out in the last 30 years. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to not only Matt, but Retro Motorsports USA for allowing me to borrow their 135i. Please go check out their YouTube channel. It's all BMW stuff. They are absolutely awesome. If you're into BMWs, you gotta check them out, and they are wonderful. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.